Theories of Second Language Acquisition. Presented to Professor Pamela Amor-Pogaja. Course Facilitator. Descriptive Linguistics. Presented by Luella May B. Balisang. Corley Joy Espante Anon. Psyche June Donato. Ellen Casa. Mile English. What is a second language acquisition theory? Second language acquisition is the scholarly field of inquiry that investigates the human capacity to learn languages other than the first, during late childhood, adolescence, or adulthood, and once the first language or languages have been acquired. This is according to Ortega, 2009. Among other things, unlike first language acquisition, is a subject of general human learning, involves cognitive variations, is closely related to one's personality type, is interwoven with second culture learning, and involves interference, the creation of new linguistic systems, and the learning of discourse and communicative functions of language. All of these categories and the many subcategories subsumed under them form the basis for structuring an integrated theory of second language acquisition. Behind every teaching approach is some kind of a theory of language learning or acquisition. Various theories and models have been emerged over the years to study the process of language acquisition. The three theoretical paradigms in language acquisition. Behaviorism. The Skinner's behaviorist theory. Innatism, the Chomsky's innatist theory. And the Krashen's monitor model or monitor theory. Behaviorism, according to B. F. Skinner in 1940s to 1950s, is a precursor to cognitive learning. Language is a behavior defined as a set of habits that can be taught or learned as any other behavior, while teaching should be done through conditioning and consequences determine behavior. Moreover, behaviorism, according to B. F. Skinner's behaviorist theory, learning is the result of the following: first, imitation, a word-for-word repetition of someone else's utterances. Second, practice, a repetitive manipulation of form. Third, feedback on success, a positive reinforcement. And fourth is habit formation. The behaviorists view the process of child's language acquisition can be seen as the following: imitation, repetition, memorization, controlled drilling, reinforcement, where reinforcement can either be negative or positive, and reinforcement will trigger general stimulus. The Noam Chomsky's theory of innatism in 1959, language is an innate capacity. A child's brain contains special language learning mechanism at birth. Every child has a language acquisition device, or LAD, by Traxler in 2012. Children need only minimum language exposure to prime the LAD. Human brain is ready innately for language in the sense when children are exposed to speech, certain principles for discovering and formulating language automatically starts to operate. The Chomsky's LAD theory. First is the primary linguistic data or linguistic input. Second, general language learning principles. Third, the grammatical knowledge or rules, and lastly, the child's speech production or linguistic output. Stephen Krashen's theory of second language acquisition. Language acquisition does not require extensive use of conscious grammatical rules, and does not require tedious drill. Stephen Krashen in 1987 states that acquisition requires meaningful interaction in the target language, natural communication, in which speakers are concerned not with the form of their utterances but with the messages they are conveying and understanding. Stephen Krashen's theory of second language acquisition. First, the acquisition, learning hypothesis. Second, the monitor hypothesis. Third, the natural order hypothesis. Fourth, the input hypothesis, and the fifth is the effective filter hypothesis. The acquisition, learning hypothesis. This hypothesis says that there are two independent systems: the acquired system, The learned system is the product of a conscious, the product of formal process, instruction, and a conscious process. Krashen says that learning is less important than acquisition. The monitor hypothesis. Everyone has a monitor that tells them when something is good or bad. It requires these conditions: time, knowledge, and focus on form. Monitor conditions, or you need time. Have time to think. Knowledge. Know the rules. Or not have forgotten it. Focus on form. Feel a need to use the correct form. Types of learners that use the monitor. First, the optimal monitor user uses the monitor appropriately. Those who does not care about correcting are the under-monitor user. And those who uses the monitor all the time are called the over-monitor user. The natural order hypothesis. This is a natural, predictable order in which people acquire language. It is the same for each person and independent of the instruction program. The input hypothesis. Concerned only with acquisition, not learning. People acquire a language by receiving comprehensible input. This input should be slightly ahead of a learner's current state of knowledge, I+1. The effective filter hypothesis. When the learner is experiencing high anxiety, low esteem, or low motivation, the filter turns on and causes the learner to block out input. Thank you.